he'd like to make a brief statement, and then both the minister and Mohammad Ali will.
Mr. Mohammad Ali and myself have held talks this morning in the spirit of friendship, cordiality, and I dare say brotherhood. I have tried to teach him to call us Ndugu because we regard him as Ndugu. Because he's a great sportsman and a man who has historical and lasting connections with his mission. We have listened carefully to the message he brought to us, and in the spirit of Tanzanian stand as a non-aligned country, a country which is prepared to listen to opinions from whatever side of the world, east or west, north or south. We listen to his message, and as usual we have told him that we shall make up our minds, judging each issue on its own merits, as we have always done. In this particular case of sports, we Tanzanians and Africans were the first to boycott Olympics in the past because of certain problems which we see: the problem of racial discrimination, the problem of apartheid in South Africa. Again, for us, the issue of South Africa, racial discrimination, still remains the #1 issue when it comes to sports. Now, the question of Afghanistan is an issue which has been brought to us. As I said, we shall consider, we shall study it. But we would like to use this opportunity also to appeal to our friends everywhere to appreciate the fact that to us, Tanzanians and Africans, the problem of South Africa, of racial discrimination, is the #1 problem in sports, and therefore we would request all our friends, including their governments, to take all measures to make sure that that the question of apartheid in sports and the question of racial discrimination in sports is completely eliminated, and that although we know many governments have taken a stand against apartheid, but we still find that the individuals are allowed to go to South Africa, or South Africans are allowed to go to their countries. Now we would like to see a stronger stand, completely cutting off any kind of connections with South Africa and such racist regimes. Now finally, I say again that we have received this message, and we shall consider it, and we shall see how the issue develops, and we shall make up our minds, we shall take a final decision at the appropriate time. Meanwhile, of course,
after hearing about how America did not support South Africa in the boycott, did not support Africa here in the boycott of South Africa, I'm a total free man. I've never talked with President Carter. I was contacted a few days ago to come here, and I'm here on my own. This is something I feel, I believe in, and if you know something that I don't know, then you do what you want to do, and I'm your brother first, and then I can talk about politics. But first, I'm your brother. So I'm not here to persuade you, force you, mislead you. I'm not working for America against you. I'm working with what I think is right. And if I'm wrong, then you tell me. If I'm wrong, then you make your decision the way you want it. So that's all I want to say. Now I'm hungry.
My understanding is that U.S. athletes who are training for the Olympics are not wholeheartedly backing the boycott. And I was wondering why you felt it was important to come here to Africa to try to convince Africans to support the boycotts when athletes in the United States are not fully supporting it. And do you feel that perhaps it would have been better to start with trying to convince the athletes back home?
Well, I pulled out 36 athletes first. You probably don't know that. I took out Houston McTerritt, the world's greatest track star, broke all world records. I took out David Armstrong, Tony Tubbs, my whole boxing team. I'm always willing to stand corrected. If I'm wrong, I'll apologize to the world. I was misled. The Russians are good. The Russians are right. communism is our thing and you all should back Russia. If I thought that. But I think communism is against freedom of religion. I was in Russia, I was in China, and from what I saw, I wouldn't want to live that way. So I'm against what's happening. So that's not my purpose. You understand? You all understand what I'm saying? I want to make sure you understand.
Mohammad Ali, could you tell us how would you describe the talks you had with the minister of Tanzania?
To persuade you to make you do nothing against your will. I've learned since I came here. I did not know that America did not support Africa against South Africa. I never knew that. If I knew before I left everything that I found out, I wouldn't have came. I found that America today still does business with South Africa. You all don't like that, do you? America still trade economically and tourism and does business with South Africa. You don't agree with that, do you? So that's against me too. You understand? America still, what about tourists going to South Africa? Going in businesses out of South Africa, setting up and building in South Africa. Are you against that? Well, I am too. Well, see, so all of this I just found out.
When you return to the United States, are you going to explain to President Carter that
everything? I'm going to tell him that you have no power and no say-so as long as you deal with South Africa, as long as you don't meet their needs, their wishes. How can we go to them, asking them to help us when we don't help them? I learned that.
We got one more question before the plane.
You had said yesterday that if you learned enough here, that you might possibly consider canceling your tour, but you've obviously decided to go on with the tour. Why is that?
Because now when I meet the leaders of the countries, I'll let them know what I'm saying here, why I'm here. And could you tell me what is it that you don't like about this Olympic thing, boycott? Let me hear your piece. First tell them my piece. I'm here as a free man. I'm not pushed by none of these American people. I can do what I want to do. I think that I'm right. If I'm wrong, you show me. Now, what is it you don't agree with? What is it that you want? What is it that America hasn't done for you so I can take the message back to President Carter? That's my reason for going on.
Okay.